Useful tools to create a manga as a team and a creative community to find partners and develop your stories together. This is the promise of Mangafy. If you're an author, illustrator, colorist, if you have a manga project to propose or want to find one, this platform will definitely interest you. So today I invite you to discover all the features of this website dedicated to mangaka, webtoon and comic artists. And as always, welcome back or welcome here. If you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell for new episodes to grow from art to business every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Anyways, let's dive in. When I met the creators of Mangafy.club, their vision for this platform came down to three main goals. 1. Helping artists be discovered. 2. Creating a community and teams. And 3. Managing projects with specific management tools for mangaka. Mangafy started with the idea that there are so many self-publishing platforms, but in fact this is not the beginning. There are some people who don't have all the skills required to get to the point of publishing a story, like for instance they have a great story to tell but they can't draw, or conversely they draw beautifully but are terrible at storytelling. Thus, the website was created so that people with similar passions could meet each other and create a project together, focusing on their individual strengths. And seriously, we were just discussing the power of artist collaborations in the previous video. Mangafy is such a great example of strength in numbers. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. So now that you know the concept of Mangafy, let's take a closer look at the features. So when you log in, you'll see the newsfeed with all the latest news. At the top, you'll see a display of creators with illustrations or manga pages they uploaded to their personal portfolio, and those pictures linked to their profile. It's a great option to discover new artists and to be discovered. Then you can see the latest collaborations or calls for projects. This allows projects to be visible, and if you're interested, you can click on them and you'll have all the practical information to participate, as we will see more in detail in a few minutes. A nice bonus is also the daily warm-ups part, which offers, as its name indicates, specific exercises for different creators every day. Drawing, writing, comics. Kind of like a teacher's homework. These are very useful exercises to keep you on track and improve with regular practice, as they will often be exercises that you would not necessarily do on your own and which will therefore take you out of your comfort zone to evolve. Mangafy also encourages creators to show the results by posting them to your own personal portfolio. So that's it for your overall feed, and now let's go over to your profile. Your personal profile is created with specific sections tailored to manga artists to make meetings and potential exchanges around projects easier. So you have your avatar, your role or your roles, like for instance cover illustrator, inker, etc. And then there's your personal presentation and your favorite genres regarding the stories you're ready to create. Romance, fantasy, drama, whatever. In short, it allows you to show your tastes so that people get to know you as an artist and creator. And to go further, you also have your portfolio, where you can host your illustrations, comic pages, sketches. Now, an interesting bonus on your profile is the Services tab, which allows you to list your commissions and the services you offer at the price you decide. Interested people can then contact you via private messaging to discuss possible collaborations. And now that the foundations are laid, let's move on to the projects. The most interesting part is of course the projects. So in general, there's a menu that allows you to discover all the projects currently proposed if you want to join a team. With different filters, you can filter them. Otherwise, you can create your own. For each person who wants to create a project, there will be different steps to fill in, and that's really great because it allows you to target exactly the kind of work and story you want to share with people. So first of all, very basic, you will give your project a name. Then you'll be asked what type of project you intend to do. Webtoon, comic, manhwa, manga, written story, or even an anime. Since the formats are different, this will already set the tone for your future partners. Now we continue with a banner and a description of the project so that people know what to expect. Interestingly, Mangafy will also ask you to link a PayPal account to receive donations and support for your project, a bit like the Ko-fi concept. So if you like a project, you can support it whenever you want for the amount of your choice. The next steps are again more specific for your future team. Which roles? You can tag the categories that fit your story. Next, the project team. What talents are you lacking but need in your team? This is really cool because Mangafy has thought of every possible role that can be useful while developing a manga. You can have an author, inker, colorist, letterer, cover artist, translator, and it even goes further with a call for publishers, financial contributors, and even mentors to properly supervise the project. If you feel like you need to, you can call on all these roles, which is nice because you don't have to do everything yourself, and it will be a team effort where everyone does what they do best based on their individual skills for a successful project in the end. Now the next part is also interesting because we are talking about money. There are different options. Pay per page, one-time fee, work in exchange for the services or goods, income sharing, and volunteer work. So from the start, it's very transparent and the project owner's budget is clearly stated with the payment usually indicated for the different roles. So normally you know which projects you can go with if you want to earn extra money for your work. Now for a quick side note, I would make a well-defined contract with terms and conditions, and the rates are not suitable for freelancers who have to make a living with art. But then again, we're talking about private individual people here, and I imagine mainly younger creators. And I really find the fact of proposing this functionality, of being transparent and honest about how much money you can earn, and seeing that there are really people ready to pay artists when they could choose to just make it a free collab. It's really commendable, especially if you're just starting out, if you don't have any experience yet, if you're afraid of doing it alone and you want to move forward with other enthusiasts who share the same interests, then by all means just do it. It's a great opportunity to get you started. Anyway, last point in your project setup, you can share your inspirations and the context. Once again, it's all there to better understand the issues, the story, and to make people want to participate. So when you have an active project page, you'll be able to see all the useful info. Presentation, genre, language, progress of the project if it's already started, the roles of the collaborators you're looking for, and where you can also send a request to participate with a little message to present yourself. The project page also has a support tab, as we mentioned before, so that people can make a donation. Up to this point, this is the most obvious part of Mangafy, and that's already quite a lot. But they go even further. So last option, let's see the project management tools. Obviously, creating a manga or comic in a team will require much more organization so that everyone knows where the project is headed, what's the status, who is doing what, and so forth. So Mangafy has created a management system within the projects that allow you to manage all of this and which are only accessible to the collaborators of the project. So as we saw before, we have the general presentation page, inspirations, description, etc. But now there's also a special private menu subdivided into 4 submenus. The first one, tasks, allows you to define the tasks with the different roles in detail. This is where you can note down that you're looking for such and such role, paid at a specific sum or not, with a description that explains the tasks you'll need to do in detail. So, in short, think of it as an employer who's making an ad to find some employees and they're writing the ideal job description. It's these roles that people can apply for on your public project page later. The second submenu, which is becoming much more specific to creators now, is characters. This is where you will find all the useful info for your characters so that anyone on the team knows who they are, what they do, how they think, how they behave, why they're important. You can add heroes, add characteristics, add extra info, anything that matters so that the writers or illustrators can portray them in the most realistic way. And each team member can freely navigate through these tabs and add some pieces of information. Third, there is the pages menu, which is more specific to the comic or manga pages. So more specifically designed for the author, you can add your scripts, descriptions of the actions, dialogues, indications for the visual. Basically everything that is important for the artist to be able to represent it visually in the best possible way. And finally, the fourth submenu, upload. This is where the pages are hosted so that anyone can see exactly where the work is at, how many pages are already completed. You can also enlarge, download, delete and re-upload a page, so I guess each role can replace it by the newer version. Like the illustrator uploads the sketch for the writer to validate it, and then re-uploads it once it's been inked, and then the colorist, for instance, can download it and re-uploads it as a final colored page. What's cool here is that you can also preview your pages, and it seems especially nice for webtoons, as you can just scroll through the whole thing and read your story in one go. The big advantage with this interface is that it's totally free and allows you to centralize all the necessary information. It really doesn't matter if you're a team of 2 or 10, anyone can find all the important info and see where the project is at. And trust my experience, it's much easier than going back and forth 100 times by email with attachments and information that you will have a hard time to find again, or too many Google Drive folders where you get lost. Here it's clean, it's clear, it's organized, and it's very, very practical to facilitate teamwork and create a manga easily. So I'm adding this part while I'm editing because I realized I missed something. There's a last tab called Publish, and I thought it was just to share your project on social media, but my bad, it's not. So Mangafy is partnering up with some self-publishing platforms, and here you have Mangaka. I didn't know that platform, but it seems pretty cool. For instance, that just hosting a manga contest, and in comparison to other platforms like Tapas or Webtoon, it seems that you can be directly paid as soon as you publish. As they state, you will receive 50% of the revenues when your works are read. It will also be translated by a community to multiple languages, blah blah. Interested in becoming a published artist? Contact us. And that seems pretty cool. So if anyone has tried that website already, let me know in the comments. I'd be super curious. So there you have it. What can I say about Mangafy? So for me, as a freelance artist who is used to working solo on my manga at my own pace and who has to pay my bills and thus do more various work, it will not be a platform that interests me. But if I was just starting out without the constraints of being a freelance illustrator all around, I would absolutely love this platform. If you are at the point where you're weighing your options to become a mangaka, then go for it. The concept of Mangafy is awesome to get you started. It allows you to create a manga as a team, even if you lack the one or other skill. And second, it gives you experience for future illustration commissions, where you learn how to communicate with other people to bring an idea to life. It's also some nice pocket money if you take on paid projects while doing something that you love. It also gives you a glimpse on how to be a mangaka and will help you see your strengths and weaknesses, your work pace, and in any case will definitely learn and evolve a lot. It can also lead to cool opportunities for the project once it's finished, like a webcomic, a publishing contract, a self-published manga to get you started with conventions, depending on the team's goals. And in addition to a very, very practical and classy interface to manage a project with several people, there's also the fact of just creating a project as a team with a group of people who love the same things, who share their ideas, who motivate each other and to push each other up. I really appreciate appreciate this community aspect which Mangafy pushes, because basically creating a manga is a lot of work and it can be discouraging to do it alone. Just look at Japan. The big hit Death Note was created thanks to the combined talents of an author and an artist who are doing outstanding work in their respective fields. Every single manga by Clamp is a collaboration between 4 amazing creative women. And even the mangaka who seem to work solo have assistants to help them with inking, backgrounds, screen tones for each and every chapter. So they're not alone in this. While many of us here in Europe start out on our own and take on all the different roles, Mangafy really offers to focus solely on your zone of genius and collaborate with other talents to create something unique that we could never do alone. So, if you want to start your mangaka career with support from all sides, then by all means mangafy.club is your place to start. And this video is not sponsored, just so you know. So now I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of Mangafy? Have you ever created a manga project as a team, or are you more of a solo mangaka? Let me know in the comments so that we can all inspire each other. And if you're interested in publishing and once your project is ready, I also invite you to check out my other resources to get your manga out there, links in the description. If you like this video, please tell it with a like and subscribe so that we can see each other again on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. for new episodes to grow from art to business. See you soon!